Morning, it's Thursday, I think. Yesterday we were moored up at Winkwell, but Ian was taken quite poorly. So after a bit of Googling, I found there was a doctor's not far from Fishery Lock, which was just 2 down. So we brought the boat down here, registered as temporary patient, or registered Ian as a temporary patient. Within an hour, we had a phone call from the doctor, had a quick chat, got an appointment for an hour later. Went to see the doctor, very helpful, gave him some antibiotics, and also topped up his prescription drugs, and we were on our way. So the journey so far, we've been about a month out on the cut, and it is a learning curve. We knew it would be. Yeah, so number one, not having a fridge is easier than I thought. Probably be a bit more difficult in the summer, but in the winter I've got a plastic box that sits out on the companionway, and it's like having a fridge freezer, so that's sorted. Number two is a washer dryer. Absolutely useless as a continuous cruiser. We don't have our solar panels fitted yet. We decided to wait till the spring, and our inverter, which is the thing that makes our electric, won't handle it. So found out laundrettes are hugely expensive. I spent nearly 40 quid yesterday doing some sheets and jeans and some towels. So portable washing machine is arriving this afternoon, so that's cool. Other learning curves. You never pass some wood up. Finding some cut tree trunks on the towpath is like winning the lottery. Another learning curve is using an axe. It's not as easy as I thought it could be. I'm some crazed axe murderer, so that's going to take a bit of practice. Minimising water that you use on board is really quite important. You learn to not run the tap while you're brushing your teeth and use minimal water for your shower and your washing up. And that's not a problem. We've got a big tank. There's regular water points along the cut, so we haven't had a problem with water so far. Learning curve point. Don't trust Elsan. Now this is the glamorous part of boating, emptying your toilet. So on the map all along the cut there are marked Elsan points, which is like a huge toilet that you can empty it. It's nowhere near as gross as I expected, or you might think. However, sometimes you get there and they're out of use, and the nearer we get to London we find there are less and less. So we will be changing from a cassette toilet to a compost / dry toilet, probably in the springtime. A lot of our jobs we decided to live on board for a year before we made any major changes, just to make sure those changes that we want to make are suitable and are needed. So loving my whistling kettle. Yeah, getting rid of your waste along the canal. There are waste points all along with the water and the Elsan points. But we are finding the nearer we're getting to London, there's no facility to recycle. So everything just goes into a bin. There's no recycling plastics or papers, which is a bit disappointed. Next point is I'm not as young as I thought I was. Well, my body doesn't seem to know. There's no problem doing the physical stuff. However, when I sit down at the end of the evening, in front of the fire, cuddled up with Ian, my back and my joints know I've been working hard all day. It is getting easier, so I think my body is getting used to it now. So let's just hope so. Just finding at the moment a well-placed hot water bottle on my back or my shoulders is doing the trick. And the final point that I can think about at the moment, keeping a smaller space, a tiny space, tidy is not much easier than keeping a big house tidy. If you know Ian and me, you know neither of us are minimalists, and neither of us are particularly tidy, as you can see behind me. My kitchen is just rammed full of all the stuff I want. No, actually, all the stuff I need. Most of the stuff I wanted I'd sold and left behind before we moved out, but there are a few bits that I will be getting rid of soon because I'm just not using them. Going back to saying that we weren't going to make any major changes, we haven't put any storage in so far. So we have boxes piled high everywhere, and we just have to move them around But we're getting to grips with what we need and what storage we need, and so we can start to look at storage soon, probably after Christmas, and get ourselves a bit more organised. So a month in, they're our learning points at the moment. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and we're not far from London, so if you're friends and family, we should see you within a week. So ta-ta for now.